Hello, everyone, and welcome to a great episode of the Gridiron Glory here with Will and Tad. We cover all 32 teams. Preseason edition, we're talking about the Cincinnati Bengals, a very interesting era for them. Every year, you feel like the Bengals are a team that should contend for the playoffs, should contend even for the Super Bowl. Of course, they had that one appearance led by Joe Burrow. And now the question is, can they get back to the playoffs after a 9-8 season last year sees them miss the playoffs very closely. They were in it till the last week. But the question is, can they elevate to the next level? Can they take the entire season seriously? And that does include the month of September. So to me, that's one of the big early season question marks. And I, in fact, am very impressed by the decision making of Zach Taylor, the head coach, of course, to give some more play time to the starters in the preseason. So perhaps they are less rusty. And of course, there's lots of reasons why you could say they had a slow start. Like last year, they lose to the Patriots. I mean, were they fully healthy going into the season? I know Joe Burrow's had some off-season issues the last couple seasons, so now that should all be behind them. They should all be good to go. So I would expect a much faster start and a much stronger season for the Bengals. When you have Joe Burrow on your team, you're always going to be a relevant team. He is one of the top quarterbacks in the league, unquestionably top four. You could argue that he would even be higher than that, depending on your personal opinion on the top four. I would personally put him in probably in the number three spot. And where would you rank Mr. Burrow, sir?
Probably have to put him in the 3 or 4 spot. Yeah. I mean, I could easily argue a case between him and Jackson. I mean, kind of hard to argue a case against Allen. I mean, former MVP, but all three of those. I mean, you could argue a case for all three of them, but I mean, Joe Burrow's right there in that beautiful top tier. So, Joe Burrow out of LSU, the former Heisman Trophy winner, the former AFC champion. Um, yeah, I mean, Joe Burrow is just incredibly talented, incredibly gifted, one of the most accurate passers in, I mean, football history, to be honest with you. And, when it comes to guys who, I mean, you asked me where I'd rank him on the field, but um, where I'd rank him amongst people that have purchased a Batmobile. I mean, considering he's the only one that's ever done it, I'd have to rank him 1 out of 1 in that category. So
You'd love to see that.
he's just a really good locker room guy to have around, and I mean he's an incredible leader. He's very humble. What I really like about Joe Burrow is that he's very humble. Like he's a very humble but like funny locker room guy. He's definitely not flashy. I mean, in the sense of like he knows how good he is, and he's just
Yeah.
he knows how good he is, but he's definitely not cocky about it. He definitely has the team first mentality. So he wants to get this thing figured out just as much as the rest of them do. And I mean, he's watching film every single day, practicing as hard as he can every single day. I mean, Joe Burrow is just an incredible worker.
Yeah,
I,
for sure.
I love to watch him play football. More so than maybe some other quarterbacks in the league. I really do like to watch me some Joe Burrow, especially in conference championship games in his career. Um, so it's exciting to see what he can continue to bring to the table. I just, can they get past the month of September? Joe Burrow, you're going to have to go out there in the month of September and rally the troops and really lead them, especially on that offensive side of the football. But that's just kind of the big thing, and we'll get to the other
Yeah,
side of the football.
and it's definitely a very solid group of troops that you have to rally. I mean, I would say they have the best wide receiver room in the league, obviously. Jamar Chase, unquestionably a top two receiver. T. Higgins, the best wide receiver two in the league, I would say. I think you could definitely make a case for that. So, I mean, just a strong top two for sure. Andre Yosevas, the wide receiver three, he is solid in a pinch, a young player getting in there, getting some reps. And then they got a lot of youth behind them as well. Charlie Jones, Jermaine Burton, Isaiah Williams. So, but the wide receiver room for them, it starts with Chase and Higgins. And what's your take on those two as a duo?
I mean, look, quite literally, Tad. I mean, they're easily the best wide receiver duo in the NFL. I mean, it's there's no absolute question about it whatsoever.
Yeah.
Um, T. Higgins could easily, I mean, make no question about it, folks. T. Higgins could very easily be a wide receiver one on most NFL rosters, but he gracefully takes his place as the two, being the insane duo with Chase. So those two are just absolutely incredible. So it's amazing, really.
So yes, there's a reason that Joe Burrow puts up all these great stats, and I mean, a lot of it is his own talent, of course, unquestionable there. But having weapons like Jamar Chase and T. Higgins definitely makes his life a lot easier. So that helps him, and he leads them very well. So the running back room, I do want to touch on that briefly. Chase Brown is the lead running back, his third year now out of Illinois. So he is a player that they developed him a bit behind Joe Mixon, who is now in Houston, obviously. So Chase Brown, he's getting the running back room. Samaje Perine also in the backup, and you draft Taj Brooks as well. So you're adding him, the sixth round pick out of Texas Tech. So they're looking to do what they can there. The running back room, I'd say it's a fairly average tier running back room if you would ask me.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of thinking the same thing. I mean, there's just, I mean, all of these running backs can definitely provide what they need to provide, but just, I mean, not necessarily to like a level of, say, a Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, Saquon.
No, definitely not.
Um, Definitely not in that tier. But yeah, I'm really big on Chase Brown, Tad. I'm sorry, you may not be as big on Chase Brown as I am, but I'm high on Chase Brown. I think Chase Brown is he's a great personality to have around. First of all, he has great attitude. He puts in great effort. He's just there to be ready to go for whenever Joe Burrow says, "Hey, I need to call on you to make a run." Chase Brown's just ready to go at like any given moment. It's yeah. I mean, he's not a Derrick Henry or a Saquon by any means, but I mean, he's a guy that's going to go out there when you give that man the football. He's going to go out there and give it like his all on whatever it is that he gets the opportunity to do. And I mean, does he still have a lot more developing to do? Absolutely. But this man is improving by the season and really improving by the game. And I know he's even improving by the week and day by day in training camp right
Yeah,
now. So I'm
yeah,
excited to see what he can continue to do and grow into.
yeah. Still a young player, like I was mentioning, and he could definitely grow into a high level player, and that's going to be interesting to watch his career progress. The tight end room, very briefly, Mike Gesicki going now into his second year with the Bengals, so he is a bit more acclimated with Joe Burrow, and I think that could help up his production this year. And then they bring in Noah
Noah
Fant,
Fant.
who was released by Seattle after Seattle wanted to get a little younger. So you bring in the veteran there. So I'd say the tight end room is in a fairly solid enough spot.
Yeah, the tight end room. I mean, Joe Burrow's gonna hit those guys too and do what he needs to do to you know, do what he can at least. But I will say this: the offensive line. We know what the offensive line has been for the Cincinnati Bengals team, and I would hate to say it. They're behind. They're PFF has Cincinnati's offensive line ranked 31st. So they're saying that they're probably going to be. They were obviously one of the worst offensive lines in 2024. And probably going to be one of the worst offensive lines next to, say, Houston, Seattle, New England. So yeah, Cincinnati's offensive line, it's not looking good whatsoever. Um, I not they did not appear to. They did go out and draft two offensive linemen though. Dylan Fairchild, the offensive guard out of Georgia, and Jalen Rivers, the offensive guard out of Miami. So they're gonna have to, yeah, Fairchild. It does look like he's gonna be right off the bat having to go in there at the left guard spot. So that's gonna be huge, 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 huge there for
Yeah.
Fairchild to be able to
I
have to
will.
step in that low. Like you're gonna have to be called upon. Hey, I know you just got out of college, but here in just a couple of weeks, like you're gonna be a grown man now, and your job is to protect Joe Burrow amongst NFL players coming at you.
And I mean, he could definitely take some lumps. I mean, we'll see how it goes. Similar to Amarius Mims last year, he's now a second year player out of Georgia, their first round pick last year. So it seems, at the very least, I mean, the offensive line, it's not a strength, make no mistake, but they realized this. They put a lot of draft capital into it the last 2 years, their first round pick in 24, and now a couple early to mid round picks this year as well. So all you can do is try to get better. That's what they have to do. And it seems they're at the very least making an effort. How it works out, we will see how it works out, but they are making an effort to improve the offensive line, which they need to do.
Yeah, and Dan Pitcher, I mean, that's going to be a very tough job for him. I mean, only going into his second season now, being the Bengals offensive coordinator. So you have all those, the skill department isn't your problem,
No.
Dan. It's now how can you protect your franchise guy Joseph Burrow? Like your main focus this season needs to be how can I get him protected? And the obviously the offensive line coaches and all those guys as well. I mean,
Mhm.
big job for them. Big job for them. So keep developing that offensive line. I mean, you go out and you address, see, like that they went out and they addressed those problems in the draft. So good for them. Speaking of addressing problems in the draft, shifting gears to the defensive side of the football. Um, I mean, we love this Bengals offense. We're so excited for them and everything. But then, okay, the Bengals just went down and they scored a touchdown drive to tie it up. They just went down and scored a touchdown drive to take the lead late in a primetime game. And now let's hold our breath while the Bengals defense takes the field.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a struggle to say the least. That's probably the understatement of the century for the Bengals defense. I mean, that is definitely the unit that has been, you could say, holding them back a bit. So they need to definitely improve. They've made some efforts to do so in the draft and in free agency. I think it's important to mention that they add Oren Burks, the linebacker. He is the 2018 third round pick out of Vanderbilt, had been playing with the Eagles last year, spent time in Green Bay, San Francisco. So he was on a defense that really helped the Eagles get to the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl. So he is a veteran that could add some very strong leadership, very strong experience to know what a good defense looks like. So that is something that definitely needs to be mentioned. Of course, Trey Hendrickson. You have to talk about Trey Hendrickson. He's incredible.
Oh, easily the best player on this entire unit. I mean, the face of the Bengals defense look no further than Trey Hendrickson. Absolutely. The dude's an absolute beast. Like, this isn't the worst defense in the NFL, but I would have to rank them fairly mid, Dad. This is a fairly mid defense amongst defenses overall in the NFL. I'd have to rank them a very average defense.
Yeah, I'd say coming in, I'd almost want to say that ranking them average would be quite generous to the Bengals, but Hendrickson definitely raises the bar. I think, as I mentioned, Burks does as well, and it's going to be interesting to see how the draft picks come into play as well. You draft your first round pick, Shermar Stewart out of Texas A&M, the edge, projected to be a player in the two deeps. We'll see if he can push for a starting role, and then Demetrius Knight Jr., the linebacker out of South Carolina, currently slated in as a starting role in the middle linebacker position. So we'll see just how, well, not the middle linebacker, the weak side linebacker, my apologies, but nonetheless a starting role. So very interesting to see if these draft picks can acclimate and sort of help the Bengals defense do what they need to do to sort of complement the offense.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's I mean, I really like some of the guys like on this defense. Like, don't get me wrong, like there is definitely some pieces on this defense that I really like. Like in the secondary, I'm pretty big on Cam Taylor Britt. What's your take on Cam Taylor Britt? I mean, to me, we saw some very clutch interceptions from him last year. He definitely was a playmaker at times. I'm kind of big on Cam Taylor Britt, the CB out of Nebraska.
Yeah, I think Cam Taylor Britt has proven himself to be a fairly solid NFL player. Had some big moments. It's a very interesting situation that this defense finds themselves in. He needs to step up, be a leader. We need a lot of players here to step up, take on more of a leadership role. Him, guys like Geno Stone in the secondary, Turner, Battle, who can step up and be that guy to sort of take ownership and be like, we're gonna get this stop. It seems to me that's the guy they've been missing. Can somebody step up and kind of takes things into his own hands and just say, we're done, no more?
Right. I do like in the linebacker room, Oren Burks. I definitely feel like he can go out there and definitely make plays as well. Logan Wilson, I mean, a lot to be desired there at that position yet. But the biggest question mark, I'm really excited to see what Demetrius Knight Jr. can do out of South Carolina. I mean, this is a guy that they have high expectations for, and yeah, that yeah, I mean, again, we're talking about this defense and average this and that, but perhaps is this maybe this is just that missing puzzle piece that they very well might need Demetrius Knight Jr. out of South Carolina.
Yeah, he could definitely be a piece. Like I said, this is not a defense. They're not gonna get fixed overnight, but it could definitely be a step in the right direction. Guys like Knight, Stewart. I mentioned Oren Burks as well, the guy they had from Philadelphia. I think they have some pieces that they can move into the right direction, but make no mistake, this isn't a project that's going to be fixed overnight.
Definitely not. Going to the special teams room really fast. We got Evan McPherson. And I mean, yeah, Evan McPherson probably won't see a ton of him given everything that we talked about. But yeah, Evan McPherson, I mean, one of the more upper tier. I mean, I would say he's a fairly decent kicker. Um, I mean, he's very reliable. He's been in the league for a while, so I personally don't mind Evan McPherson. Not at all. I mean, when it comes to like fantasy drafting and stuff like that, if I had to get him, I probably would. Ryan Rako, you got Ryan Rako, the punter. Probably won't be seeing a lot of him. He's in his second season now out of BYU. Looks like they did get him some reps in the preseason. So I mean, hey, I guess specialists are kind of a little different in the preseason. You want to get them their reps. You want to get them their reps, so that's good. Charlie Jones will be called upon in his second season to be the main return guy. Um, but I mentioned Evan McPherson. I mentioned Ryan Rako. And I mean, these guys are going to have to go out there. Evan McPherson, he's going to have to go out there. He's going to have to kick field goals when he is called upon. That's going to be big because there's going to be lots of moments and situations, Tad, where Evan McPherson, I'm sure, late game situations where Evan McPherson's going to have to like kick a game-winning field goal or a game-tying field goal, and it all starts with none other than who else to deliver him a good snap.
I mean, it looks like we have a bit of another long snapper battle here with the Bengals. Definitely the favorite. The incumbent is Cal Adamitis out of Pittsburgh. In 2021, in 2022, I should say, he joined the Bengals undrafted after a phenomenal college career, which saw him be both the first team All-American and the winner of the Patrick Manley Award in 2021, his senior season. So he had an incredible collegiate career. Um, and in Cincinnati, he became the starter very early in his career. Played in the playoff games that season where they went to the Super Bowl. So he's been with the team, he's won with the team, and it's a very strong start to his career. So we'll see if he can hold off the player that they add from Michigan, William Wagner, the rookie long snapper, the national champion in 2023. He's suffered an injury in 2022, but coming back as a fifth year senior in 2023, he had a very strong effort. This was a Michigan team that kicked a lot, so he has a lot of experience holding on kicks, and that's something that we could see a very similar situation here with the Bengals. So we're going to see what he does there. He has a degree in mechanical engineering and manufacturing, so very interesting there. I think it's definitely true that Adamitis would be the favorite in this one.
You'll love to see it. Yeah, when it comes to the Bengals, my final thought is you go out here in the preseason, try to fix the September woes, and I will believe it when I see it in the month of September. Wake me up when September ends.
Certainly. I mean, I like the way you put that, believe it when you see it. I do see this as a team that improves upon their 9-8 record they had a season ago. I see them being a team, worst case scenario, they win 9 again, but I'd see them being a team more likely to win 10 to 12 games.
I mean, Burrow, Higgins, and Chase alone are worth 10 wins minimum. I would go anywhere from 10 to 14 wins.
Yeah, you might be a little higher on them than I am then, but a very strong team, the potential there, you definitely can see it. I don't have any final takes unless you did.
I
So
do not.
yeah, thank you all for watching the Gridiron Glory here with Will and Tad. Thank you for following along. Continue to like, subscribe, and follow for our exclusive content, including high quality long snapper reports. Thanks for watching.